This is WaXed.
Well, holla, you surfers, you goddamn nerds. I'm just kidding. We're all part of the tribe. How are the breaks looking? Got some lefts, some rights, some green rooms, A-frames.
A weekly surf talk radio show.
Hopefully when you go out there, you'll find your green card and surf on the home. Poser.
With your hosts, Cyrus Saatsaz.
All I need are some tasty waves, cool buzz, and I'm fine.
Omar Etcheverry.
Locals only, you grommet. Stay off my beach!
And Natalie Rose with the news and weekend surf report.
Surfing is out of this world. You just can't imagine the thrill of shooting the curl. It positively surpasses every living emotion I've ever had.
On ESPN 1700.
Yeah, good morning, San Diego. Welcome to another edition of WaXed Surf Talk Radio here on ESPN 1700. The terrific broadcast signal this station provides for all of Southern California. You can listen to us as far north as Ventura, all of Orange County, of course, here in San Diego where we're based. I'm sorry, San Diego. Can't get out of character for that one. Natalie Rose, Omar Etcheverry, myself, Cyrus Saatsaz are your hosts. Natalie, how you doing this beautiful morning?
I'm doing wonderful. There's finally some surf in the county.
Yes, we're going to get to a surf report in just a moment.
I forgot what that looked like.
You know
I was like, holy.
You're right.
Surf.
You're right. And you know what's funny, though, is that it's been flat for so long. I think Omar said, like, August was the flattest month the entire coast of California has had in, like, 10 years. But, the surf is good. Don't get me wrong. It's fun. And there's some sets coming in that could give you some amazing rides. But this is by no means, like, classic surf. You know what I'm saying? It's just been flat for so long that it's just like the slumbers, everyone's coming out of their slumber like, oh, my God, there's waves. I don't care what it is. It's the best ever. But it is good, though. And what's making it better is the fact that there's a northwest mixing in with it. But, Natalie, you're going to have the full surf report in just a moment. Once we get a hold of Omar, we'll find out what's going on in Northern California. For those of you listening online at ESPNradio1700.com, that's how you can stream us. Make sure you follow us on Twitter at WaXed Radio. Find out all the latest that's going on. Follow Natalie, by the way. Natalie Rose is her handle. It's Natalle Rose. And we're going to have Kassia Meador on the show today in about 5 or so minutes. You excited about that, Natalie?
Oh, I'm super excited. I'm a real big fan of her, so.
I know you are. We had her on, I think she was the second guest we ever had of this incarnation of the program, and you were pumped. So you grew up basically watching her videos, and you were a huge fan?
Oh, I was a huge fan because I'm an old school longboarder,
nice.
So I'm a purist. But, yeah, so I always really liked her and looked up to her, so I'm super excited to have her on again, and I think we will have some fun questions to ask her this time, too. Beautiful.
We're going to cover a lot with her for sure. And then the Hurley Pro at Lower Trestles, I believe, starts tomorrow. So we'll give you a little preview of that during the news segment of the show, which is later on. But why don't we take a quick break? When we come back, you'll get that amazing surf report from Natalie Rose. And then a little while after that, we'll have Kassia Meador here on WaXed on ESPN 1700. 100.
Visit our website, waxedradio.com, to get complete show podcasts and follow us on all social media at WaXed Radio. Now, here's your weekend surf report.
All right, the surf is finally firing. Been a while since we've said that. Natalie, how's the surf looking?
The surf is looking super fun. We have a combo of a west-northwest and a southwest swell-in. So we're getting directions from all over, which gives us all kinds of waves. It's a little inconsistent, so you have to wait for the sets, which are reaching anywhere from head high. Waves are anywhere from waist to shoulder length, and it's super fun. And the water's warm, and it's a little foggy out there right now on the coast, but the sun does pop out. Also, we have a high tide later on this evening, which could affect some areas. So if I suggest you're going to surf, probably right after the show would be the best time if you haven't caught it earlier this morning.
Like that.
Do you notice how I'm out of breath?
Because you went and ran and got the report. Is that what you did?
No, well, the other computer wasn't printing all morning, so finally I got this one to print. Yeah, and I didn't even.
It's so funny.
The news. I went to go run and get the news, and I was running down the hall, and everyone's like, "Are you okay?" And I was like, "Yeah, I'm fine." I'm so out of breath right now.
It's so fun. Like I've learned that one of the worst things you can do in broadcasting is run, and I still do it all the time because sometimes you just have to. Because when you're out of breath, dude, you have to sit there and talk forever, and you're like, welcome back.
But but I made it. I was like, oh, no, because all the computers in that one room aren't printing. So anyways, your
Really,
out-of-breath surf report by Natalie Rose.
Something's not working here? Shocker. By the way, our good friend Mike, who runs a terrific surf forecast site, PacificWaveWriter.com, highly recommend checking it out. It's more accurate than Surfline. It's a bold statement, and I'll say it. It's PacificWaveWriter.com. Mike runs it. He also has a Twitter handle. He tweeted us at WaXed Radio. He's up in Ventura, and he told us great surf at Ventura Point this morning. Clean, glassy, waist-to-chest high, very crowded streets with the Aloha Festival all weekend. North of town, it's mostly knee to waist high from Rincon to Emma Wood. South of town, it's knee to chest plus with less frequent sets. So if you're up in Ventura in that area, that's Surfport there. Mike with PacificWaveWriter.com, thank you for that. And when we come back, let's get Kassia Meador on the show. This is WaXed on ESPN 1700.
Visit our website, waxedradio.com, to get complete show podcasts and follow us on all social media at WaXed Radio. Now, more WaXed.
Yeah, welcome back to WaXed Surf Talk Radio. Literally the only surf talk radio show in all of Southern California. That's it. We're the only surf talk radio show in Southern California. Pretty amazing. And that's us. That's what we do. Omar Etcheverry is MIA. I'm guessing he's up in Santa Cruz surfing this swell that's in. Because Santa Cruz has been as flat there as it's been here. And when a south swell rolls through, in my humble opinion, outside of maybe Rincon, there is no better place to catch south swell. Santa Cruz fires when a south comes through. So there is a chance Omar might be doing that. Hopefully he'll join us in the show at some point. But in the meantime, our next guest, it's a pleasure to welcome her back to the program. She's got the hottest... Dude, whenever someone comes on the show that has that raspy voice, dude, I'm a sucker. I'm done. I bow. She's going to take over the show. One of the best female surfers in the world, if not just the best surfers in the world. Her level of expertise in longboarding certainly surpasses pretty much anyone. And it's a pleasure to welcome back on the program, Kassia Meador. Kassia, how you doing?
Good. How you guys doing? Nice to be back on.
Yeah, it's great to have you on again. What you been doing these past 5-6 months?
Oh, man, so much. I don't know where to begin. But most recently, I just got back from France. So I spent 3 weeks over there, and it was such a nice time. Such a nice time.
What were you doing in France?
Well, I went over there originally for the Swatch Girls Pro just to do some hosting.
Right.
And obviously, you know, cheer on my teammates and see everybody. And then my boyfriend came and met me over there, and we had like 2 weeks vacation and just ran around and went surfing everywhere. So it was awesome.
France is a beautiful country. I've been there. Did you guys actually escape the surf scene? Did you actually go explore the country itself? Because there's a lot more to it than just the coast. Did you go inland?
Totally. We didn't go into Paris or anything like that,
Okay.
but we went up north towards Bordeaux. Like, it's not like we were just in Hossegor, you know? It's like I was only there for the time that I had to work, and then the rest of the time we kind of took off. We drove down into Spain, went to some museums, went around, ate good food, went up north, like near Bordeaux, past like Lacanau and stuff, and it was cool. It was really beautiful time.
It is such a beautiful country, and, you know, there's no denying that they have an attitude towards Americans. I mean, I'm not going to deny that. They certainly have an elitist persona. However, and this is the advice I give to all Americans if you go to France, at least try to speak the language, or at the minimum learn how to say, I don't know how to speak French. And if you just even put that little attempt, dude, their entire guard will go down and they'll be nice. You know what I'm saying? Like, have you experienced that too?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, no, absolutely. I definitely, like, try, especially when you're ordering things. You know what I mean? It's like those are some simple words that you can learn pretty quickly.
Yeah, exactly.
So I definitely learned how to order what I want to eat, what I want to drink, and, you know, when you mispronounce something, at least it gives them something to laugh at you about.
Yeah, I think what
kind of breaks the ice.
Totally. And I think je voudrais is that I want, or is it j'ai? Oh, man, I haven't taken French in so long. But I always just say je ne parle pas français bien, which means I don't speak French well. And then
which is good.
Yeah.
Or like un petit pas, which is like a little, or like, you know what I mean? It's like, it's so funny. It's so weird too when you're there. But my default, I mean, being Californians, our default's always Spanish.
That's true.
You know?
Well, see, I was the idiot in high school who thought I'm going to take French because all the hot chicks were in there, which is a horrible plan. If you're a young kid listening, don't do that. It's the worst idea ever. Because not only are you learning a language that is irrelevant in the state, but dude, you're not going to get any hot chicks doing that. It's just not going to work. But that's what I did. So I learned the hard way.
You got to speak pretty good, which means you'd have to be in France.
Totally.
Sure. Absolutely.
We're joined by Kassia Meador here in WaXed. Going back to the Swatch Pro real quick, you know, I'm surprised you didn't compete because I remember so I've been writing about surfing for a long time, and I actually covered. I mean, I wasn't there, but I got the photos from publicists and all that, and I did a recap of an event you competed in. I think in 2010 or something like that. They had a Swatch Pro event there. Or maybe it was a Roxy Pro at that point. Maybe they changed sponsors. I don't know. But nonetheless, you were competing in it, and dude, you guys are just smoking hot. You're in these little bikinis, and you're also ripping on these longboards. So were you not competing this time? You were strictly just kind of judging or organizing, or what were you doing now?
Well, no, I mean, the Swatch Girls Pro, it's a shortboard event. It's a six-star QS.
Ew.
So, it's the total, and it had a Pro Junior. So, it's not my kind of equipment. I was just hosting with one of Swatch's pro snowboarders, Ann Fleur Marxer.
Okay.
Yeah,
oh, yeah. I know, yeah.
Hosting the event and talking with everybody and, taking turns surfing when we had a chance in between interviews. It's like, all right, Ann Fleur, you go out for a few waves and, come back in a half hour, take over for me, and I'll go out, So it was cool. It was a good time. We got to see all the girls and just say what's up and surf on the sidelines. It was a good time.
It is. And Ann Fleur, I interviewed her years ago. She's a sweetheart, dude. She's such a cool chick. So you two were just basically the hotties there, hanging out representing.
Pretty much, yeah. We were just hanging out, drinking espresso, Tro espresso, and just soaking up the French sunshine. And it's cool, it's always a good time when you're kind of interviewing people that or, they're being interviewed by kind of fellow surfers rather than just some random person that doesn't know about surfing.
True.
So it makes the whole experience a lot more fun for everybody. So It was a good time.
Absolutely. By the way, we're joined by Kassia Meador. Omar Etcheverry's finally joined us, a nice close to 20 minutes late. O-Dog, how you doing?
I'm good. And no good excuses either. I basically completely forgot. Isn't that awesome? What a jerk. But, I'm in the car with my family, too.
Yeah, he brought his family to work.
In-laws. How boring is that, too?
Oh, dude, I was hoping that your excuse would be you were surfing the South Swell, because I know Santa Cruz is probably the streets are vacant, everyone's in the water. I was hoping that's what was going on with you. So no, you're cruising.
No, I'm on my way to Lodi. The opposite, yeah. So nothing cool in my world at all.
Kassia, this is such a random question. Kassia Meador is our guest of the program. Do you have any idea where Lodi, California is?
No.
You shouldn't.
I've never, I thought it was code for something.
It's a real.
I was thinking about it.
It's a real town.
If Sacramento could have an armpit, that would be Lodi.
Oh.
Oh.
Oh my God.
I'm sorry.
Basically, like a kind of a boring, stinky one, but it does have the best Zinfandel in the world.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah, it does. It's voted number one in the world. I swear.
You're making that up. Really?
No, I'm totally not making that up.
That is so random.
That's classic.
That is classic. That's crazy. Oh man,
that's hilarious.
We got Kassia Meador on the show. And Kassia, where are you right now? Last we talked to you, you revealed to us that Venice Beach is your home. Are you there now, or where are you in the world?
Yeah, I'm still up in LA. Since I got back last week from Europe, I'm just kind of, fall's my favorite time in probably one of my favorite times all over the world, but especially in California. So I got back and, kind of Labor Day happened and the streets quieted down and there's been fun little waves. So I've just been kind of hanging and surfing and catching up with friends and a couple fun art shows going down this weekend that my friends are doing. So it's been a good time.
Well, we got a pretty decent swell coming in right now. Are you hitting? How does Venice Beach? How's the surf when a south swell like this comes in? Are you out there surfing? Do you have to do a long road trip? What's that all about?
Yeah, it's Venice is one of those spots that's fun when there's not much waves. You know what I mean? Because you can get fun little kind of longboard banks in some of the spots. But when the swell, it just kind of walls up. But there's so many fun little point breaks and little kind of miss those spots up here. It's LA. You have to drive a bit for sure, but it's worth it. Up in Leo Carrillo and places like that. It gets so fun up there.
Yeah. What is easier if you're at a place like that? Do you go north or south? What's quicker to go waves?
You know what? I always go north.
Okay.
Because going south, it's you go towards Orange County, and it's just a mission. It turns it into something else entirely.
It does.
But heading north, it's you don't really run into any traffic.
True.
And you kind of get away from the crowds a lot more when you go that way.
That's true. Because you're
For me, personally.
No, you're right. Because you're right in the PCH. You don't have to get on the freeway. You just go. Correct?
Yeah, exactly. And there's you don't have to worry about is it traffic time? Is it this? Is it that? You just kind of cruise. Where if I'm thinking about going on the 405 towards the Orange Curtain, it's over.
Ugh, forget
Yeah,
that.
I like avoid it as much as possible. It's just like 405. It's just the worst.
That's awesome. We have Kassia Meador here on WaXed. Dog, you got in the conversation late. You got any questions?
Yeah, I do. What are your favorite places to surf up there? I've surfed up there a bunch. I mean, obviously you have Malibu, but you have Leo Cabrillo and a lot of those fun little coves and points. What are your personal favorite spots up there?
Yeah, I mean, there's a couple fun little lefts that get good every now and again. Topanga's always a good right to go check out when there's a little bit more of a west in the water and you don't want to deal with Malibu. Leo's really cool. Even up on, in between Leo Carrillo and County Line, there's a couple little weird misto waves that kind of get good depending on the exact direction of the swell, So it's there's all these weird little trippy waves that aren't even really maybe that good sometimes, but other times they're really doing it. So there's a lot of kind of exploring to be done up here. I haven't really ventured much into the South Bay just because I know it's pretty localized and it's a whole different world.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, up in this zone, I kind of just stick around the points, really. I mean, that's what is so rad about being up here. It's you have so many good point breaks within miles of each other.
It's true. When a hottie like yourself goes into a localized area, does it matter for you?
I mean, well, thank you. Well, I don't know. I always get so weird vibes, I just never want to hit up anybody's spot when it's their spot. I just don't like vibes that are aggressive in any way, shape, or form, And sometimes I don't know. I'll roll with a couple of my guy friends, and I don't want them getting beat up for me. So.
We got to well, there's your problem right there. There's your problem right there. Yeah, you're bringing the guys with you.
Jealous. They're trying to look,
Exactly, dude. When a Richter little Betty with a raspy hot voice like yourself shows up to a localized spot, you can't bring dudes with you. Absolutely not.
I know, that's my first mistake for sure every time.
Because you're okay if you don't do that. I guarantee it. They're gonna welcome you with open arms. I promise you that. But if you bring guys,
you might have to give out a fake number a few times, but you'll get any wave you want. That's
exactly.
Wild guess.
Exactly.
That's the next move. I know. I need to start flying solo. I need to be the lone wolf. I'll get way more waves.
Exactly. Be the queen wolf. That's the way you got to do it. Natalie. By the way, we sort of touched on this last time. And Natalie Rose, who you're 24? Is that your age, Natalie?
Yes, I'm 24.
She looked up to you, Kassia. You were the surfer. She almost. I'm not gonna say idolized. That's a bold statement. But she definitely you wanted to emulate her longboarding. You're a fan of hers.
Well, she was so smooth.
Yeah, still is.
Yeah, still is.
Hey.
So Natalie does a terrific Q&A segment each week when we have a guest on the program. Do you want to fire the music and go into it?
Do you want to play?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, here we go. Hold on one second.
Yeah.
We have to feel the music for a little bit. Get you in the mood. Are you sure you want to play?
Let's do it. Rapid fire.
So these are all kind of awkward questions, but we're going to start off easy. First off, what's your favorite food?
Ooh, favorite food. It used to be sushi, but I have to say Mexican food. I am Californian.
Bravo.
What's your favorite type of Mexican? Do you like burritos, taquitos?
Nothing like some ceviche.
Ceviche. So you still like the fish?
Yeah, I still like the fish. I'm trying not to eat as much fish these days, but I still love the fish.
I hear you. Radiation and mercury.
Okay.
Exactly. It's I'm trying to stay away, but then I'm I'm in the water like a fish anyway, so what am I going to do,
And it's funny, by the way, ceviche as a tostada is so hard to beat.
Oh, my God. There's this place up here. It's a taco truck. It's what's it called? Isla Bonita.
Uh-huh.
And it's the best ceviche tostada ever. It's it's next level. It's a life changer.
When you go to a taco truck, does your boyfriend instantly have alarms raised and he gets kind of jealous? Because isn't that how you guys met?
Yeah, totally. It's the place. Yeah, we met there actually. No, we go there every now and again. I love the taco truck. It's too good.
Beautiful.
It's too good. I can't stay away.
Excellent.
Okay, if you had to sleep on a bunk bed, would you choose the top or the bottom, and why?
Bottom.
Why?
Because I don't want to jump off the top and in the middle of the night. Or roll off the top in the middle of the night.
These are great questions, by the way.
But also,
all kidding aside,
they are good.
I grew up with bunk beds, and then if you have the fan, too, and the fan's going, you're like, holy smokes, I'm really close to that fan.
Yeah, that would be super sketchy. That's like a nightmare, kind of. That's like some like weird 80s. I got stuck in like a machine and I'm going towards the propellers kind of thing.
Wow.
I feel like it's like in all those movies. You know, somebody was always stuck in a machine going towards propellers. That kind of reminds me of that.
Yeah, that would be a little trippy.
Great imagery.
Yeah, that's scary. I don't sleep with fans.
Okay.
The bunk beds, definitely bottom bunk.
Love it.
Bottom bunk. Okay, we'll keep that in mind. That means we get the top, Cyrus and Omar.
All right.
I think that's good. I actually fell out of the top bunk when I was a little kid and knocked myself out.
Did you really?
Really?
I did. I think I was like 4 years old, too. My mom was freaked out.
Oh my
Oh,
God.
my God.
Yeah,
Wait, so
not good.
so in other words, like you just never woke up? Like you felt?
Yeah.
Wow.
Wow.
I know my mom was a freak. I woke up to her being crying and freaking out.
Oh my goodness.
You're like, what happened?
Yeah.
That's sketchy.
Oh,
That's
my-
super sketchy.
That is.
Yeah, no bunk bed for me either. I'm with you.
Yeah, no, I feel you. There's a reason that there's a fear there, for sure.
Okay, would you rather be able to turn invisible so you could go anywhere, or would you rather look through walls so you could see anything?
Ooh, I'd rather be invisible.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, going in the men's locker room there.
Yeah, just, you know, it's
Creeping.
really cool to be able to walk around and just be anywhere and everywhere.
Okay, if you could be... Next question. If you could be any animal, what would you be?
Ooh, I'd be a pelican.
A pelican?
Good. I like that.
That's interesting.
Yeah, they're so, I don't know, I just like how they cruise. They're so good at the glide.
I love them
And they're
personally.
so cool looking.
I do love pelicans, dude. I would personally choose lion for obvious male lion for obvious reasons.
The hair.
Yeah.
Well, the main
He doesn't have any hair, though.
It's all butt. Well, but I do. It's just a buzz cut.
Yeah.
Settle down. But the mane protects your. Dude, nobody can attack a lion because of the mane because it protects the neck. And you don't all you do is sit there all day and let the chicks get the food. You wake up every once in a while and hump. I mean, like, why would you not want to be a male lion? What's the negative to that lifestyle? You know what I'm saying?
There is none. You're like the ultimate predator too. It's like nobody's gonna take you down.
Nobody. The only problem is claiming your pride. That's the difficult part because you got to fight another male lion to get it. But that's it. That's the only work you got to put in. After that,
You know, though, I believe I read a majority of them die from starvation as well because they have to eat a lot. And that's hard. I don't know, I'm going for bird. I like your flying around the cliffs. That sounds awesome.
The pelican.
Yeah, the pelican. You're just cruising all the time.
It's true.
And just like, yeah, and like I don't know. I just watched this weird documentary on like the birdmen, those people with those flying squirrel suits.
Yeah.
And it really made me want to jump off a cliff in a flying squirrel suit, but I probably never would. But I'm like, oh, that's like full pelican view right there.
That is, and they hunt so easily. All they do is just scoop up a ton of water, filter out the water, and they got food.
Exactly.
Done.
They're smart. They know what's up.
Yeah, they do. All right. Any more questions, Natalie?
I have two more.
Beautiful.
So, are you a big drinker? Do you like...
No.
Oh, you're not?
Not much. Yeah, no, I'm not a drinker, really.
Well...
Like, I'll have a bit of red wine and stuff and, like, whatever, you know, every now and again I'll have, like, a whiskey if I have, but I'm not, like, one to drink.
What would be your drink of choice then, I guess, if you had to choose one?
Well, I love red wine for sure, but I also, I guess if I do want to drink and it's, like, a cold night, I like a hot toddy. Because I really love tea.
Ooh.
I'm not a coffee drinker. I'm, like, a tea drinker. And, like, there's something about, like, whiskey and honey and, like, lemon and cloves, like, all that stuff together where it's just kind of the coziest. It's extra cozy.
Kassia, I absolutely love your taste in alcohol. Love it. Like, I love whiskey. Hot toddies are so underrated. They're delicious.
So underrated.
When it's cold. If it's a hot day, forget it. But if it's cold, ooh, I mean, I'm a huge fan.
Yeah, thanks, man. Yeah, there's nothing cozier. A fireplace, a hot toddy, some hang time. It's the best.
And you're right. It's like it's so healthy because honey's the ultimate source of sugar. You really shouldn't have any other than fruit, maybe a little bit. And the lemon is good for you. And there's nothing else added to it. It's just whiskey and water. Dude, dig it.
It's so good, and it does help my raspy throat. Every now and then. It's extra raspy. That's like a good, it knocks off the edge.
Yes.
My last question for you is, September 21st, you're going to be hosting another Swatch event in Honolulu, right? Is that correct? Yeah. And I believe you're going to have a photography exhibit there. Is that right?
I'm not going to have a photography exhibit, actually. I'm going to do, instead I made these zines with my boyfriend a while ago from our trip to Peru, and it's just filled with, like, all these cool photos and, like, inspirational quotes and, like, little kind of things that we put together. And instead of doing the photo exhibit, I really want to have people have something that they can take home with them. So, like, the first 25 people that come in and buy a watch from the Swatch store when we're doing the event are going to be able to take home one of these zines, which is kind of cool, you know, because it's just more interactive with the audience, and they get to take home a piece of more of like my kind of like my soul and my feelings and my sentiment, more so than just like an image that I shot.
Beautiful.
And did you take all these pictures?
Yeah, I took most of them, and my boyfriend took a couple, and we just kind of made like a kind of, you know, basically a zine from our travels to Peru, and we were both like super inspired at the time, and it has like some like environmental undertones in there as well, and just kind of really inspiring positive quotes. So it's kind of one of those books that we made to just kind of put it out there and get to people, and hopefully somebody will find something in there that they get inspiration from.
So my question for you is, what's the most interesting picture you took?
Oh, from that book?
Mm-hmm.
I guess one of the ones I think is the most interesting is a photo of this kind of medicine man guy that we met, which was just this guy that was in this little shop that we were walking by, and there was all these crystals and feathers and all this stuff, and like Palo Santo. I don't know if you're familiar with Palo Santo, but it's this wood that you can burn that smells really good. It's almost like an incense, but it's from Peru. And I don't know, he had just such a cool vibe, and we like cruised in the shop, and I ended up sitting there drinking tea with him and just like, you know, talking in broken English and broken Spanish for a while. And he showed me a photo of his mother, and like we just really got deep, and he let me take a picture of him. So that's probably one of the most interesting.
Beautiful.
Nice. And are we allowed to see any of these pictures, like us or any of our listeners?
Yeah, totally. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we did a zine, and so it's kind of like in a, you know, it's in a booklet. It's not like in a digital format.
Okay.
Which is kind of a bummer. That's like the only problem about making it printed. But I don't know. I just kind of felt there was so many images, like with Instagram and with people like uploading stuff constantly, that it was just kind of nice to make something that was solid, that was tangible, that people could hold, you know? So that's, with this, we kind of went that way.
Excellent. And
Nice.
and you can follow Kassia Meador both on Twitter and Instagram at Kassia Meador, just your name. Really easy. You know, I follow you on Instagram. You're an amazing photographer. There's no question about that. You know what you're doing. My one critique would be add some bikini photos to there, here or there, just a little bit.
Yeah, more bikini photos.
Come on.
Creeper.
Indulge us.
Creeper.
Okay, I'm gonna put one on there. I just shot of one of my fellow Roxy team riders.
Yes.
We were in Hawaii together hanging out, but this girl Bruna Schmidt
Yes.
got a cool bikini photo of her, and I'm gonna put it up there just for you.
Thank you. The Brazilian Bruna
Yeah.
Schmitz. I know. I'm fully aware of who she is. That's excellent. Thank you, Kassia. That's so nice of
Yeah,
you.
for you especially, man. I do what I can. You know?
Hey, the scary part is you just made Cyrus's day. Probably
Yeah.
week,
Uh,
which is good. You know, I got a question for you. You sound so creative. Your boyfriend sounds super creative as well. How's his hat business doing? I know we talked about that during the last interview, and I know you talked about getting into some of that work as well. How's that going?
Oh yeah, with his hat company.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's killing it. I mean, he's making hats for everybody, and I mean, you know what he does at the shop. He's in a new space, and you know, the people he works with are great, and they're just in there creating kind of, you know, one-off bespoke pieces for people. So it's something really different. You know, there's a lot of companies and a lot of people that make hats, but he's actually doing everything by hand, like blocking them and really making custom pieces. So it's super beautiful, and he's just so fulfilled, and more people are kind of coming in and wanting something. So it's awesome. It's definitely doing super well.
it is. There was definitely a fascinating thing we learned in the last interview, that your boyfriend is a hat maker. And then we want to. And what's the website again, so people can go check it out if they want to actually get a custom hat from your boyfriend?
Well, yeah, he just recently changed the name of it, but it's now Nick Fouquet Hat Co.
Okay, so basically him and his partner split. Is that what happened?
Yeah, they just, you know, kind of went their separate ways. He wanted to do more custom stuff, and
Okay.
you know, whatever. His partner wanted to do more kind of Western style stuff, and so they kind of just had different, you know, feelings for it. So he went towards more of doing custom one-off pieces, a lot more distressed and kind of not so traditional.
Okay.
So it's cool, I mean, definitely still has the same workings as before, just more distressed and kind of tweaked stuff, which is awesome.
Hey, S-bombs happen. What are you going to do?
Exactly. But yeah, Nick's UK Hat Co., they're killing it. They're just on Abercrombie too. He's part of this collective house called the Left House. And there's just different designers and lines in there, and you can walk in and order a hat and see him make it right there, which is awesome.
Nice.
Nice. That's cool. Well, I know we discussed it during our last interview, but he looks like probably the most handsome hat maker I've ever seen. What do you think, Cyrus?
Yeah. Oh, totally. He's Richter. He's super hot.
Hey, I got to keep it real, right?
I love it. Beautiful. Natalie has a quick question before as we're wrapping things up here with Kassia Meador.
I think those are all my questions for today, but I know you have September 21st, you're going to present and host the Swatch event in Honolulu, Hawaii. Is there anything you can tell for our listeners?
It's the opening of their store. I guess there's a motorcycle parade going on because a bunch of people just rolled by.
You're fine.
Yeah, it's the opening of their store over in Honolulu, which is awesome, and it's cool that I just think it's great that Swatch is opening a store over there. Honolulu is such a big place for surfing and such a big place for tourism, and there's so much going on over there right now that it'll just be cool to have a shop over there. And Swatch is just so rad, It's like I grew up with them in the 80s, and they definitely are having a huge resurgence in the last few years. So it's just cool to be a part of the brand. And it's not only they're about action sports, they're about surf and snowboard and motocross, but they're about art and photography. They're about fashion. They're about everything. So it's cool to be working with a brand that really encompasses everything that I'm interested in.
Beautiful. And the opening is on September 21st. It's in Honolulu, Hawaii, the capital of our 50th state. Is it 50th or 40th? I think, yeah, they were the last one. And definitely, and you're going to be there, so your fans will get a chance to meet you in person. Is that correct as well?
Yeah, exactly. I'm going to
Excellent.
be there. I'm going to have my zines there, and the first 25 people that come through are going to get a zine. So
nice.
Definitely come through and buy a watch,
Beautiful.
So, and the cool thing, too, about Swatch is, they're affordable.
They are.
Bad.
That's true,
and
yeah.
they're waterproof.
That is you're absolutely correct about that. You don't have to break the bank to get a waterproof watch, so you can actually keep track while you're surfing. And be careful of the molasses out there. I don't know if you heard about that. They got a few days ago. Apparently, the Oahu, they produce sugarcane, which is the key component for molasses, and they have a pipeline that transfers the molasses to container ships. And there was a massive leak, 1,400 tons of molasses spilled into the Pacific Ocean just off Oahu.
Whoa.
Yeah, I don't know if you heard about that. It's kind of a crazy story going on there. And all they can do is just wait for it to dissipate. Unfortunately, it's killing off fish and attracting sharks. So be wary of the surf when you show up. But otherwise,
yeah, that's sketchy. A bunch of that's just so bizarre.
Yeah, it's super bizarre, but it's a true story. It just happened. It's pretty
crazy.
Yeah,
well, thanks for the heads up. I'll definitely look for some sugar crazed sharks. I'll be on the lookout.
Sure. Absolutely. And Kassia, before we let you go, list off all your sponsors who's paying your bills, and how can people follow you on social media?
Yeah, man. I'm so lucky to be still doing what I'm doing, and thanks to Roxy and Swatch and Gravis Japan, Rain Optics, Stance, and Hawaiian Pro Design.
Beautiful. That's a fantastic list. Bravo.
Yeah, so stoked. I've been lucky. Oh, and of course Captain Finn. Yeah, those guys are the jam.
There you go.
Sure, they do good fit.
Natalie, you used Captain Finn too, don't you?
Pardon?
Well, no, Captain Finn is next to us, but doesn't Benji Weatherly's brother?
That's
Isn't
right.
he the owner of it?
That's right. Did you know that?
No, Captain Finn, Mitch Absher.
I thought Captain Finn was Benji Weatherly's brother.
Or something like that.
Was involved with it? I don't know. Maybe not. Who cares?
Maybe he's got some involvement, but Mitch started it years ago.
And
and he's got the captain's helm and all that stuff up the ocean side, but that's kind of where Captain Finn came from.
Beautiful. I love it. Well,
yeah, but they do rad stuff. Maybe Benji's brother has some stuff with it now, but I know Benji well, but I haven't met his brother.
Who knows? Who cares? All we know is they're sponsoring you, and congrats on everything. You're rocking it. Always a pleasure to have you on. If you're ever down in the San Diego area, every in-studio guest gets a free Magic Flight vaporizer. So a little incentive for you. So if you're ever in town, cruise in and do a show with us in studio.
Yeah, I would love to, man. I'll be heading down there soon to get some new boards, so I'll give you guys a heads up.
Beautiful. I love it. Always a pleasure, Kassia. Keep that raspy voice going. Keep rocking it. You're a superstar. Love you, and have fun in Hawaii.
Thanks so much, and I'm going to put that photo up for you sometime this weekend, so keep a lookout for it.
I definitely will. I will. My Instagram handle is dogwild, so if you want to tag me, that's
Dogwild, perfect.
Exactly.
I like it.
One word. And we'll have the news coming up next. That's Kassia Meador, rockin' chick, lover, and we'll have more WaXed next here on ESPN 1700.
Yeah, guys, thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Later.
Visit our website, waxedradio.com, to get complete show podcasts and follow us on all social media at WaXed Radio. Now, here's a recap of the weekend surf news.
Yeah, special thanks again to Kassia Meador. If you missed any portion of that interview and you want to hear the whole thing, visit our website, waxedradio.com. That's waxedradio.com. We podcast literally every show, so definitely go check our site out. We have a great surf gallery on there. It's kind of a play off of words. Our show is called WaXed, so we have a little section called WaXed with 3 X's. Get it? Ha ha.
I don't get it.
What are you talking about? Seriously.
I don't get it. Explain.
And we don't have a Kassia Meador gallery in that section. I just realized that, so I gotta put that up at some point.
Hey, Natalie, we know what Cyrus is going to do tonight. Set up in someone's gallery, I guess.
Creeper.
What do you mean by that? Well, what's been
Insta spank.
Oh man.
I'm just saying,
She's never gonna come back on the show. Or maybe she will.
No, she's so nice. I was talking to her before I put her on. She's like, I'm so excited. Like, she's such a sweetheart. I really like her.
She is, dude.
She's a cool girl.
She's awesome. And, I mean, all the female longboarders I know in the world, they look up to her style-wise, across the board. She is so talented. It's ridiculous.
Absolutely. You're 100% correct, including Natalie. I mean,
yeah. And it's sad because I never told her, but I have met her before. But, I mean, she's met a million people. And when I was, 14 and she was awesome then, she was like, hey, what's up? You know what I mean?
Nice. Yes.
So.
Super cool. And, dude, you shouldn't worry about that. I mean, we've interviewed people on the radio who completely forget about the interviews. So don't worry. They just forget, dude. And to be honest, and O-Dog, I don't know if I'm speaking on your behalf or not, but I've done interviews that I've forgotten about. Like when we had when we had Lakey Peterson on earlier this year, I'd forgotten completely we interviewed her 2 years ago. Just completely forgot.
So many. I mean, for so long we did a few a week. I mean, that was insane.
Yeah, we had it.
And now we're continuing the madness. So it's tough.
I love it. But we know we're going to recap the news here. A lot going on in surfing. Natalie, take it away. What's been going on?
Well, this one we've kind of been pushing back because so much has been going on, but this week it was a little bit slower, and the black surfing scene takes off in the Rockaways. Brian James, better known as BJ, calls himself the Nautical Negro. He's an African-American that surfed Rockaways off the Rockaway Peninsula in New York. When starting to surf, James said that it was kind of hard because there was racism in the water, but not as much as you think, because he said, surfers don't care what color you are, they only care whether you're in the way or not. So as he progressed to surf, he started surfing, and now he's one of the standout surfers there, and he's starting to do his own surf camp, and he now teaches younger kids to surf of all types of races. And when he has other people, who aren't Caucasian or white, they come and they say, man, how I can't surf. And he's like, why can't you surf? And they think because they don't see anyone to surf. So his idea is hey, if I start surfing, maybe then I'll show other ethnicities that, hey, it's okay to surf. It's cool to surf. So he's a big inspiration over there in New York, and a lot of people really like him, and it's cool what he's doing.
It is cool. There are not that many African-American surfers. I mean, it's the truth. And here's the crazy thing is, educators on a collegiate level, when we're talking professors, people with PhDs even, they'll do sociological research on why the African-American community in general just is not that into water sports. And, a lot of it has to do with socioeconomic factors. In other words, they just don't have the money growing up in order to have the resources to kind of get into it. Because you need to have access to the water to do it. But in general, there's just no clear answer. I think they're still trying to figure that out. It's fascinating to me, certainly. But I love stories like these because I feel like diversity is sorely needed in surfing. It's needed in snow sports. So kudos. I mean, the Rockaways are starting to pick it up, and hopefully they'll happen in California too.
Yeah, he even says in the story, he says African American kids won't try the sport because of their skin color, and he says they think they won't be good at the sport because of their skin color and because they don't see it on TV. They see other African Americans playing basketball, football, etc., and they think that's what they'll be good at. So that's
I think it's great. I know, Cyrus, we've touched base with this issue with so many different athletes in snowboarding and skiing. I mean, so many different sports. You know, and they have talked a lot of these individual sports are really expensive to start.
Exactly.
You know, with surfing, you're going to need a board. You're probably going to need a wetsuit. With snowboarding, you're going to need a lift ticket. You're going to need a board. And I know we interviewed a person, too, up in Tahoe that was taking inner city kids snowboarding.
Yeah.
Which is a really positive thing he was doing up in the Bay Area. And, yeah, I think this is great. I mean, the interesting thing is, you know, you take all ball sports, and they're pretty much dominated now by African Americans, you know, most ball sports. You know, and it's just really interesting subject that hopefully will obviously and probably will change throughout the years.
And you're absolutely right. It comes down, it's just, I think most of it is money. I mean, even though, like, the beach is free, you have to get to the beach. And then you're right, you need a wetsuit. That's not cheap. Wetsuits are not cheap at all. Surfboards are not cheap at all. If you want to get good at surfing, you have to do it all the time. And snow sports, you're right. I mean, in addition to the snowboard itself, or even the skis, you know, the lift ticket, and the clothes. The clothes are not cheap either. You got to stay warm up there. Yeah, it's just a lot of factors that go into this stuff. But you're right. Like, whereas, you know,
another good example is soccer. I mean, you know, a lot of people in studies they say that soccer is the most popular sport worldwide because you just need a ball.
True.
You just need a ball and you can kick it around to really start at the beginning of the game.
You're absolutely right. A lot of it comes down, again, socioeconomic factors. But, yeah, I love stories like these because it would be great to make these sports more diverse. But these sports also cost money, so it's a huge obstacle. What else going on in the news?
Okay, a car,
Whoa,
cat.
Why did you get so loud all of a sudden? You blew up.
I'm sorry.
That's all right, that's all right.
No, I was fixing with the mic. Sorry
Okay,
about
that's
that.
all right, that's all right.
Whoa, I know. I was like, I'm screaming at you guys. I want to tell you about
What
this
do we
cat
do to you?
car surfing. So Amy King noticed a flash of a brown in her rear vision mirror, but didn't think anything of it. Rushing to get her daughter to soccer training on Wednesday afternoon, Miss King didn't see her extra passenger on the top of her roof. The family's dark brown cat named Lily. Miss King's neighbor actually, though, spotted Miss King driving off with the cat on the top of her roof. But it was too late, and Lily was gone missing. So basically, the cat was on top of the roof. Nobody knew from the family. Then when she finally found out and Miss Amy King went back to go look for Lily, that she couldn't find her anywhere.
Was this their cat or just some random cat?
I believe it's their cat. It's the family cat.
And the cat's gone now?
The cat's gone now.
The cat's dead.
Isn't that
Later.
What if you came home, though? Mom, where's Lily?
Oh, man. Oh, well. It's not like the world, there's plenty of cats in the world.
That's so messed up.
That is kind of mean.
Went to a better place.
That is kind of mean. But cats are evil, dude. I'm sorry. Cats are like, I mean, look, I get why people have them as pets. They're the most low-maintenance animals ever. You just, change the litter box once a week.
That's
you
if
feed.
they clean themselves. I don't have a cat, but I had a friend who had a cat, and it didn't clean themselves when I was younger, and it was, like, gross.
Even worse.
Their
Even
hair
worse.
balls, too.
Even worse. But on top of that, this is how I always like to put it in, for people, the argument between dogs and cats and their owners. If you had a magic machine, like, when you were a kid, I don't know if you saw the movie Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, where there was a machine that shrunk, you into a tiny little thing. Let's say that was real and you were shrunken, and suddenly you were like an inch tall. Your dog would still lick you and protect you and treat you as you were if you were a normal-sized human being. Your cat would eat you in a second. No questions asked. Would just eat you and just move on. That is the difference between a dog and a cat. Cats are evil. Dogs are man's best friend.
Hey, Natalie, don't you love how it sounds like Cyrus put a lot of thought into this?
Yeah, he's been thinking about this one for a while.
That's exactly what I was thinking too, Cyrus. Like if I got shrunk, seriously.
Look, I'm not sitting here advocating like killing cats. That's not what I'm saying at all. But I just don't care. I just don't care for them. But this is it is kind of sad though. In reality, it is sad if this cat did die. I mean, I'm not sitting here saying it's a great story by any means. It would have been nice if they videotaped the cat on the car and put it on YouTube. That would be a great video. Surfing cat. Car surfing cat.
That would be perfect for ridiculousness.
Yes. Yes. Oh, well. What can you do? I mean, the cat shouldn't have been on the car to begin with, so.
Hey, there's more things surfing out there than us.
Yes.
There you go. Cat surfing.
Well, sort of.
Sort of. I want to know how the cat got up there. It doesn't say anything like, oh, you know, like the cat jumped from a tree, or like, did she put the cat up there like coffee? You know what I mean? Like people put their coffee on the roof, or did the cat climb up there? Like, you know, how'd the cat get
Cyrus
there?
put him there.
Yeah, Cyrus is like,
Oh,
forget
man.
this cat. Dogs
Nah.
rule.
I'm not advocating animal abuse in any regards. I love animals.
I'm just kidding. We know you love your dog. You love your animal.
I love it. And look, I love cats. It's just like as a pet, they're just kind of worthless. I don't know. Like if you try to, I mean, how many cats have you come up to and like petted, and all of a sudden they'll look at you and just bite you or claw you? Dude, you know, screw you, dude. Go do your own thing. My dog will love me no matter what. A cat, and I grew up. We had a pet cat as a kid, dude, and all that thing did was just do its own thing. It would show up once a week. Where's my food?
Oh, Omar, see, it goes back to childhood. Now everything is solved.
Dude, I love their pet cat, but they're worthless. They're just worthless. There's no point to it. I don't get it.
I hear you. No, I grew up with cats, but I have a chocolate lab, so I hear you. I'm with you. Cats they're if I could describe a lot of their attitudes, it's arrogant.
Yes. They're almost too smart for their own good. And yeah, they're just, you know, it's almost like they get it. They know what's up, and they decide to just do their own thing as a result of that. But no, we're talking way too much about cats. Come on,
They have 9 lives.
Yeah, your lab, by the way, your Omar's dog's name is Bear. It's the coolest dog. It's awesome. And when Bear and my dog Indy get together, all they do is try to hump each other. That's their entire game. It's hilarious.
Yeah, it's hilarious. And like they have the best night of sleep after that. It's great.
They do.
It's like they got some. It's so funny.
It is crazy. We have bisexual dogs. What else going on in the news, Natalie?
Okay, I actually saw this video when you sent me this story about a week ago.
Mm-hmm.
But there were orca whales being captured, like picture-wise. But what is cool is like, yeah, everyone takes pictures. But these orca whales, this couple, Laura and Richard Howard, they were out on this boat, and basically they saw a dorsal fin, and they're like, hey, that dorsal fin is way too big to be a dolphin.
Right.
And all of a sudden, like, in the video, I mean, I could be over-exaggerating, but it looks like 10. It's probably about like 5 or 6 or something, but it looks like 10, and they're just like surrounding the back of the boat and like riding the wake of the back of the boat.
Okay.
And it's pretty awesome to see. So I may not be explaining it very well to all our listeners, but you definitely should go on and just check it out. It's pretty cool to see, and just type in like couple films killer whales playing in the surf, and it's really, really cool to see. I'm a Nat Geo fanatic, so
you should be
all into it.
Absolutely. You know, I authored a book 2-3 years ago. It's called Dog Wild and Bored. And in the book, one of the things I chronicled was orcas who surf. And there's actually some pictures in there. Dude, orcas and dolphins and seals are avid surfers. It's hilarious. I know, O-Dog, you for a fact, like, have either been chased out of the water because of that or have had waves stolen. I have. I know you've shared stories about that, right?
But like 2 weeks ago, remember that dolphin was surfing and it hit the guy?
Yeah,
His
yeah.
arm.
Yeah. No, it happens. They have such a cool understanding of the ocean and waves. It's amazing. And I think it's so cool to see that they enjoy it. I mean,
yeah.
That's what the studies say, and it looks so awesome.
Well, true story. The only animals besides human beings who have sex for pleasure are dolphins. And it's no surprise that we both understand the good things in life, you know?
So you now know you're not going to be a lion, you're going to be a dolphin.
Yeah.
I somehow think lions enjoy it too. I could be wrong.
Yeah, hey, the studies, you said the one animal. I don't know, lions probably just do it.
Just
Dolphins
instinct.
have fun. I like it. That's great.
They do. But yeah, I remember there was a surf spot way up north. I think it was like in Humboldt County. I was up in the Lost Coast surfing one time. And I had a big old sea lion just sitting at there was only one peak at this spot. And this damn sea lion would not leave the peak. Every time I'd paddle close to it, he'd bark at me. He claimed it. It was his. It was pure territorialism from an animal. And I had to surf these inside sections. He would not let me get there. And sometimes, believe me, I tested this thing, and it would get pissed. He wanted this peak to himself. It was messed up, man.
That's messed up. Yeah, the worst I've ever had, I got chased out by an elephant seal, and that was scary.
Dude, elephant seals.
Gosh.
Dude, elephant seals will beat up a great white. They're no joke.
They're huge.
Yeah.
And they bark at you and they charge you. I went in so quickly.
They're gnarly. They weigh over 2,000 pounds, dude. These are big animals. I would not mess with them at all.
Shoot, I'm scared of stingrays.
That's a whole different story. Those damn things.
Yeah, they suck too.
Yeah, they suck also. Yeah. All right, Natalie, terrific job with the news. And again, if you missed any portion of the show, visit our website, waxedradio.com. Follow us on Twitter at waxradio. O-Dog, you're going to Lodi, the capital of Zinfandel, is that right?
Yeah. I can't wait. I'm actually pulling up there right now. It's 90 degrees.
That's not too bad.
I can really say it's 90 degrees.
It's not too bad for that area this time of year. So.
No, it's nice. My brother's got a pool and a vineyard, so yeah, it'll be fun.
Like that. That's your son Kaz, right?
Yeah, and he says, and a hot tub. He's like,
and a hot tub. Hey.
And a hot tub, dude.
I love it. I love it. Well, O-Dog, have fun up there. And
I will, guys, and get some of that south for me. It's firing.
Oh, I will for you.
2 days ago. It's going off, so go have fun.
I can't believe you're missing this, dude. It's like today's the day. Well, for you, maybe tomorrow might be a great day too.
Yep.
And we forgot to mention too, the Hurley Pro starts tomorrow as well. Predictions, Natalie, who's gonna win it?
I don't know.
You
never know, because Trestles is just like, I think it's open for anyone. I think Trestles is such a fun open wave, and we finally have some waves here, but it's really inconsistent out there, so it could go anywhere within a heat. There could be like no waves in one heat and then a bunch in another.
Long lulls.
But Trestles is the cam of the day on Surfline. So.
And O-Dog, who's your pick?
I'm kind of with Natalie, because I did get some inside scoop on it. I talked to some of the surfboard shapers, what they call in the ghetto, which is down in Lowers area in San Clemente. And they're saying that the one-day swell will be tomorrow. So that's going to be the best day. So they're going to power through heats, and then you're going to have a really inconsistent week. So, it could be really hard for a surfer to get enough good waves in a heat. So it's going to be anyone's game, really. But I think, of course, Kelly, Joel, the top guys will stand out, of course.
Absolutely.
Regular top guys.
And my pick is, I'm going to guess Kelly, just because I get the feeling he wants to just wrap this world title race up now. I don't think he wants to wait. Although Kelly does have a shoulder injury, and it's pretty severe. He posted a picture on one of his social media sites where he was, what's the name? I'm blanking on the name of the healing practice. It's Eastern, where they stick all those little needles inside your skin.
Acupuncture.
And thank you, acupuncture, exactly. And I kid you not, a lot of these athletes swear by it. They say it is incredibly effective.
Oh no, my boyfriend got it done on his shoulder. He loved it.
Yeah, I mean it's fascinating.
Really good.
I was watching this it's the NFL reality series Hard Knocks. It's on HBO, and James Harrison, they did the Cincinnati Bengals this year for the team they're covering. James Harrison is a new member of that team, and he's in his 30s now, still an incredible athlete. And he swore by it on that TV show. He gets over 200 of those things put into his back. And he says it works. So Kelly's getting acupuncture in his shoulder. So if he's healthy, that's my pick, hands down. Just because, given how competitive he is, and the fact that he lost to Chopu in the finals, I think he wants to come out here and just dominate this thing and just put the world title race to bed before they go to Europe. But that's my prediction. But anyways, have a great rest of the week, you guys. And again, follow us on Twitter at WaXed Radio, and visit our website, waxedradio.com. If you missed any section of the show, we podcast all the shows there. And we'll be back next week. This is Wax on ESPN 1700.
Oh, yeah.
That is it for us today, and we will leave you with I can't do it. No. We'll do it live. Do it live. Thing sucks.